glass industry is flocking to Vancouver for the Insulating Glass Manufacturers Alliance Summer Conference 2018. I'm Jordan Scott, Assistant Editor of US Glass Magazine, bringing you the industry's latest. It's all about the birds here at the networking-themed dinner, and these birds are angry. IGMA had a session dedicated to preventing bird collisions with glass. Bill Breeze, Education and Safety Chair, told us why it's such an important issue.
I think the industry needs to be aware that this could be coming to building codes or requirements relating specifically to the window industry. So it was really good to have that presentation to bring the membership aware of this topic. There were a lot of questions, so there was clearly a lot of interest in that topic.
He gave us the educational and safety highlights, including information about the Insulating Glass Fabricator Workshop coming up in November in Plano, Texas.
The Fabricators Workshop is a hands-on workshop. It is not a PowerPoint, it is not a classroom. In previous sessions, countless supervisors and managers and quality personnel and engineers, they've never cut glass. They don't know what desiccants are. They've never really worked with these products hands-on. So that's really the focus, is it's hands-on and how it pertains to IG durability and IG longevity. The Glass Safety Awareness Council brought the industry up to speed on latest OSHA and ANSI and other requirements. Mike Burke did a fantastic job dressing up like an operator, as he usually does. And finally, the Leadership Development Program, which was hosted by Oak Moser.
The Certification Task Group wrestled with spacer and desiccant equivalencies. John Kent, Administrative Manager of the Insulating Glass Certification Council, gave us insight into the discussion, as well as an update to the Insulating Glass Provisional Certification. Today, materials and IG units was a big discussion. What were some of the focuses of that?
We've created an online tool for test technicians, and we've tried to codify some of the interpretations in the standard, some of the normal processes and practices in the testing program, reducing variability in the test process and reducing variability in the interpretation of the standard is one theme. The other one is in materials. We started with sealant, and we developed a process of what's known as fingerprinting sealant to try to see if what is being used this year is the same as what was used last year or the year before. It's strictly voluntary. We're now moving on to desiccants, and that looks like it's going to be much harder. There are not as many established norms with desiccants right now, and there's arguably many more parameters that need to be looked at. So we're very much at the very beginning stages of looking at desiccants next on materials. So
what is the purpose of the provisional testing?
The ASTM E2190 standard and its predecessors have served the industry very well. It's been a very good predictor of performance. Simply put, the test is just too long, and arguably it's too complicated. It also isn't really variable enough. So that's what we're trying to point towards, a test that'll give us some type of predictor of unit performance or correlation to ASTM E2190 in a couple weeks rather than months and months that the current test takes. I believe we proved concept. What we're doing is we're using pressure changes instead of temperature changes to accelerate unit longevity or performance or evaluation of the units. We built this pre-prototype. We now are kind of taking a breather here and are kind of reevaluating if there might be a better way to do this. We learned a lot in the first phase and the first pre-prototype, and we're kind of going to a phase 2 prototype right now. We also are looking at the type of units that should be tested, and again, looking for something that is going to mimic what 2190 testing does, except in a shorter amount of time.
The conference has plenty to offer members and newcomers who are interested in getting involved.
I'm here because this is the regulatory body of the glass industry, and the biggest thing is as a sealant manufacturer, I'm a chemist for Fenzi North America, so I want to be on the sort of forefront of what's happening in the industry and see how I, as a chemist, can aid in that. One of the biggest things, I guess, is the PIB and the desiccant task groups that I'm sort of taking away for myself, which I would love to be a part of. Just there's a lot happening, and I feel there isn't a lot of testing, or there's a lot of testing to be done, rather. And that's something that I would really love to aid in, to see how I can help and see how the industry as a whole can benefit from these tests that are being conducted and sort of task groups that are being formed.
The IGMA Summer Conference ends today with an organization update, a meeting of the Technical Services Committee, and an insulating fabricator workshop session. Stay tuned to usglassmag.com for our continuing coverage. I'm Jordan Scott. Thanks for watching.